Sarah, Victoria, look at the children. Please give me your child.
Mommy, please don't leave me too.
Or love them and accept them as they are.
The water goddess asked two mothers to choose. In the village of Riverstone, two mothers carried a secret shame. Sarah, a fair-skinned woman married to a wealthy farmer, had a son named Ethan. Ethan was often sick, became tired easily, and struggled to understand lessons at school. His father constantly compared him with other children. "Why can't you be like them?" Victoria, a black woman married to a respected trader, had a daughter named Lily. Lily also became sick often and learned more slowly than the other children. Her grandmother called her a burden. One afternoon, Lily dropped a cup in the kitchen. "You cannot even do a simple thing," her grandmother shouted. Lily ran outside crying. That night, Sarah and Victoria met near the village path. Both women were desperate and ashamed. An elderly woman named Margaret watched them from her doorway. "You are thinking about taking your children to the sacred river," Margaret said. They froze. Margaret sighed. "The water goddess has been watching." The sacred river was forbidden after sunset. Villagers believed its goddess protected children and the innocent. Some said she could take away anything willingly surrendered. Under the moonlight, Sarah and Victoria walked toward the river with Ethan and Lily. Ethan held Sarah's hand tightly. "Mother, where are we going?" Sarah could barely answer. "To the river, my son. Will we come back?" She looked away. Beside her, Lily asked Victoria, "Did I do something wrong?" Victoria's eyes filled with tears. "No, sweetheart," but deep inside, she was still thinking about the cruel words her family had spoken. When they reached the river bank, the water suddenly became still. Then it began to glow. A beautiful woman slowly rose from the water. She wore a flowing white and blue gown decorated with gold and shells. Her long dark hair moved in the wind, and a jeweled crown rested on her head. The goddess looked at the mothers. "You brought me the children you believe are worthless." Sarah lowered her head. Victoria trembled. The goddess raised her hand. "Do not hide your shame. Tonight you will face it." The river brightened. "Each mother has one choice," the goddess said. "Give me your child, and I will remove your shame. Your child will never trouble you again." Ethan began crying. "Mother, please don't leave me." Sarah looked at her son, then at the river. The goddess turned to Victoria. "And you?" Victoria stared at Lily. Lily was crying silently. Victoria's hand slowly loosened. For one terrible moment, she stepped toward the water. Sarah gasped. "Victoria, what are you doing?" Victoria's voice broke. "I am tired. Everyone says she's a burden. Maybe they are right." Lily looked at her mother. "Mommy, am I not good enough?" Those words shattered Victoria. She fell to her knees and pulled Lily into her arms. "No, I am your child. I should have protected you." The goddess watched silently. Then she turned to Sarah. "And you?" Sarah hugged Ethan tightly. "I choose my son." The goddess smiled. "Then you have both been given another chance." Villagers arrived at the river. Margaret had called them because the truth needed witnesses. Sarah's husband and Victoria's relatives stood among them. The goddess looked at the adults. "You called these children cursed because they were sick. You called them useless because they learned differently. But neither child is your shame." She pointed toward Ethan and Lily. "They need care, patience, encouragement, and understanding. You tried to throw away children because they did not fit your expectations." Sarah's husband lowered her head. Victoria's grandmother began crying. But the goddess was not finished. She showed everyone two visions in the water. In the first, Ethan grew up surrounded by patient teachers and supportive family members. His way of thinking became a strength, and he discovered a talent for repairing machines. In the second, Lily grew into a confident woman after receiving support and encouragement. She became a gifted artist who inspired children who struggled like she once had. The goddess spoke softly. I never promised to make these children perfect. I came to show you that they were never broken. Everyone fell silent. Then she turned to Victoria. You almost surrendered your daughter. Victoria cried. I know. Please forgive me. You cannot erase your choice, the goddess said, but you can prove that you have changed. Victoria nodded. I will. The goddess looked at both families. Remember this. A child's worth is not measured by health, grades, speed, beauty, or wealth. A child should never have to become perfect before receiving love. Then the goddess disappeared beneath the glowing water. From that night, everything changed. Sarah stopped comparing Ethan with other children. She took him for proper medical care, worked patiently with his teachers, celebrated his progress, and listened whenever he was afraid. Victoria did the same for Lily. She apologized to her daughter and never again allowed anyone to call her useless. Riverstone created a learning center where children could receive extra support without shame. Years later, Sarah and Victoria returned to the river with their children. The water was still. Ethan smiled. Do you think the goddess is still here? Lily looked at the river. She never really left. Breeze moved across the water. For a moment, they saw a golden reflection shaped like a crown. Sarah smiled through tears. The greatest miracle was not that the goddess had changed their children. It was that she had changed the hearts of the people who were supposed to love them. And Riverstone never forgot the lesson. Never call a child useless because they struggle. Never measure a life by what someone cannot do. Sometimes the child you are tempted to reject is the very person who teaches you how to love. If this story touched your heart, like, comment, and subscribe for more. The next story is more interesting.